How's it going, everybody?
How y'all doing? It's been...
They're not responding. Oh, yeah.
It's been...
How long has it
now?
been? We're going to go into the months, if not years. Feels way longer than it should be, regardless.
Do you remember how at the beginning of the last episode, which was like fucking weeks and weeks ago, we were like, well, imagine this to be the second season after we took that long break.
And then again, a long-ass break.
Is it possible to have a season of one episode?
I mean, let's think of examples in the past.
Let's see. Parks and Rec.
What?
The Office.
What are you saying?
Community.
None of them had episode or seasons with one episode.
Baby Driver. Speaking of which.
What is that?
That was my attempt at a seamless transition.
Yeah, no, we didn't even get to the introductions. We didn't get to the beginning stuff. You just want to jump right into the beef.
Because it's been so long, baby.
I know.
Okay.
That's why we need to reacquaint the good people out there.
Yeah, so it's not too awkward, you know?
Right.
Yeah, the first time is always awkward, but like it gets more awkward the longer you don't. I forgot
what are you talking about even?
I was trying to make like a joke that was vaguely like stupidly sexual, and then I kind of lost track of that joke.
Like
trying to compare it to like the situation with our podcast.
Like,
you see what I'm saying?
Ineptly sexual, like someone who doesn't know anything about sexual innuendos trying to explain a sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah. So that's, then I lost track of the joke, and once a joke dies, you just let it be. You don't.
No, you chase after it and you try to revive it as many times as possible. That's why I'm the funniest guy. I know. If people don't get the joke at first, you just keep explaining it to them until they laugh.
Keep knocking them upside the head with that shit. Yep. No, I used to be like that when I was a kid, and then I realized, oh no, then people just think you're sad. Hello, people. My name is McCowie,
and I'm the other one.
And this is the We're Not Cool podcast with McCowie and the other one.
The other one named John.
John Shirt. John Shirt.
That's messed up, man. I got made fun of a lot as a kid, and that was the one that hurt the most.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just kidding. I think you can all guess which one hurt the most.
I'm just kidding.
Just everyone knows Macau without you saying. It's going back to the whole why you don't explain a joke.
I didn't explain a joke. I was just
gonna
say it.
You were gonna say it.
And then it would explain itself.
It explained itself before you started saying it. Just kidding. I don't even know if anyone ever called me that. I was the cool nerdy bully, if that makes any sense.
You were the bully?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have hated you.
I was an asshole, but I was like a smart, kind asshole.
Really?
Yeah. Like I was the cool kid everyone liked until you crossed me, and then I made your life miserable, just absolutely miserable.
Whoa. So you were a conniving bitch.
I really was. But it got me to where I am.
Grudges.
So, yeah, you have no idea. Half the stuff I do, it's because I am just seeking revenge, and it feels good to get that worked out.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
see, I was the same kind of kid.
Yeah.
As I am now, almost. I knew how to sit on a fence. Like I didn't piss anybody off. I didn't get on anybody's bad side, but consequently, I didn't make too many close friendships.
See, but I'm in the same boat. I had like 3 or 4 other good friends that were kind of assholes and bullies, and otherwise it was just kind of, hey. And then I absolutely hated the like redneck kids because I had a lot of those growing up in Western Colorado where there's nothing to do.
Western Colorado, born and raised on
Just kidding. I wasn't born and raised there at
all.
all.
That's right. Kansas.
I moved all over the place. Yeah, so Arizona to Pagosa to Kansas to Delta, and it was just nightmare for a good majority.
Dang. What was your favorite place?
Probably Delta, because it was just like, you know what? I am just finishing out my primary schooling here and just getting the heck out of Dodge, because it was kind of like I wasn't going to move again, and I knew that. Yeah. So that was kind of the thing that made it better. It was just like when I moved to Pagosa, I was a kindergartner, so I was like, I didn't really think about it. And then my parents were like, oh yeah, by the way, we're getting out of our line of work and moving to Kansas because you don't need to keep your friends here, do you? Nah, you don't matter. So we did that, and then
Someone struck the nerve.
Right? And then in Kansas, I was in a community that was just like, if you weren't born and raised there, you were a complete outsider.
Really?
Yeah. So I just kind of like, I went an entire year without any friends.
That sucks.
It was super weird.
Which is weird because Kansas is all a bunch of people who just found themselves moving to Kansas. Nobody's like, you know what? My great-great-grandfather was here.
Well, I mean, there's a good majority. Like the part I was in, at least, it was like a lot of very historical community. It's like a town with a lot of history.
Oh wow!
And like a gross amount, in fact, because nobody gives a shit. Like my girlfriend lives in Greeley, and I was like, hey, what's there fun to do in Greeley? There is a museum of washing machines. Like how washing machines were when they started to where they are now. There's a museum dedicated to that. That is the point of history that no one gives a shit about.
I mean, I guess we should care about it because it makes our lives easier now. Washing machines?
Yeah, but now you just... Like, you can buy a washing machine without having to know everything about the past of washing machines. You can just be like, hey, this one got good reviews. Hey, this one doesn't break down all the time. Hey, this one isn't a Samsung, so it's not going to blow up in my face.
Shots fired. You're right. But it's more of an appreciation thing. Like, you look up at a light bulb, you're like, Thomas Edison, you thief, but you made this. You know? I don't know. It is pretty pointless.
Was never that innovative to me.
Really?
I mean, it does its job.
Hold up.
What?
Washing machines aren't innovative?
I'm just saying, like, you're comparing it to the light bulb that lights the world as opposed to the washing machine that sits in a dark corner of the house.
That washes your clothes.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried washing your clothes by hand?
Why would I need to? I have a washing machine.
Exactly.
It's just a convenience. It's not a necessity.
I've washed my clothes by hand.
Have you really?
I really have.
Really?
Because in Sudan, washing machines are kind of a luxury. And I'll tell you, washers and dryers, my God, so underappreciated. Because here they're just everywhere. Oh, you don't have one in your house? Go to a goddamn laundromat.
Yeah.
Over there, you get a little tub, put some detergent in it, get Over
where, in the laundromat or in Sudan?
In Sudan.
Okay. Your segues are terrible tonight.
Anyway, guys, we watch a bunch of movies, and we're going to talk about them because this is what we do on this podcast. We talk about movies. We talk about TV shows. We talk about other
pop culture things.
Pop culture stuff.
Because I didn't think we was going to get there.
No.
And we also fight about washing machines. Yeah. So
leave
expect
a comment
that
below.
Every episode.
Leave a comment below. On a scale of 1 to amazing, how amazing are your washing machines? Pretty biased, but go with it. All right.
Anyway, so since our, beginning of season 2 / our long ass hiatus, we have seen quite a few movies, and let me tell you, quite a few good movies have come out since then.
Oh, so many, dude! What a time to be alive. Can I say this?
I feel like you've said it before.
I stand by it. It's what a time to be alive.
It really is.
All those people are like, ooh, cinema, the golden age of cinema was back in the day. No, fuck that. We live in the golden age of cinema.
We really do.
Boys and girls.
And it is because of actors and actresses such as...
Whoa, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, I did.
Tom Holland, Gal Gadot, Jamie Foxx and Kevin Spacey, and Ansel Elgort, and Khaleesi, and Chadwick Boseman. I'm basically listing the actors and actresses that played in the movies / trailers that we're going to talk about.
And to start that off, we're probably going to go with Macaui's future bride, at least he hopes, Gal Gadot's new movie.
Oh, she's already married.
Wonder Woman. People get divorced and die. Macaui, I think there's still hope.
But I'm not that kind of person.
What? Not to hope that they die, but I'm just saying
death.
It happens,
Okay.
Anyway, all marriages, or 50% of marriages end in divorce, so let's just get that off the table.
I just burped into the mic.
Oh, no one heard. You should try it again. Oh, that was gross. Anyway, Wonder Woman, I literally just saw this yesterday, which is really sad considering it's been out.
Oh, that's right. You told me.
I told you that earlier. How long has it been out?
Since June 2nd.
Yeah, so it's been over a month.
Month and almost a half.
Yeah, since I've seen this movie. Yeah. I've had every opportunity, but just for the first time.
What'd you think?
just amazing.
Amazing, right?
And it's kind of, I mean, so everyone knows what this, like, the draw of this movie is. It's like the first air quotes, like strong female lead that don't need no man to run her life. Mm-hmm. But then in the middle of a big fight, the only thing that gives her strength is the idea of her true love, Captain Kirk. You know? Okay. It's like, hey, she was doing just fine on her own, and then, oh, wait, she's in trouble. What's going to save her?
No, I think, well, I disagree. The reason is, I think the relationship, because nobody has anything against, people in a relationship. True. It's more so like historically in movies, the woman depends strictly on the man. And if you, like in this movie, what I loved about it is like their relationship. They're very independent of one another, right? But, oh wow, you don't know how to...
Shut up. Just keep talking.
You don't know how to edit your own document.
Just shut your damn mouth and keep talking.
Mister, I got a Samsung tablet.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly how I said it. Mister, I want to see it because I don't have one of my own. Frick you, man. Keep talking.
Say it. I dare you. But, so as I was saying, one of my favorite aspects of this is that, they have a relationship because in the comic books they have a relationship and everything, but their relationship, they're more independent of one another. They appreciate each other's company and each other's input, but they don't need each other per se, which I think develops a pretty solid bond between them. Okay. That is an actual love for one another, not so much, oh, I need him here. It's like, oh, no, I appreciate this person so much so, we work so well together. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how I saw it.
Okay. I mean, with all the reviews I heard, it was like basically, hey, Chris Pines may be in it, but it's just going to be Gal Gadot doing Gal Gadot things. No need for no man in her life. And when I saw the movie, there was the sexual component, because obviously they're two very perfect human beings. Yeah. So they got it on after a nice victory in Belgium, I want to say. And then from there, it was just kind of like, hey, I'm the man now and I need to protect you.
Was it that, though? He was just protecting humanity.
He was protecting her. He's like, you don't need to go to the front line. You need to stay back and I'll take care of it, honey.
Oh, and then she was like, nuh-uh.
Exactly.
And she saved their asses.
Yeah.
That's the nice, contrast to that.
But it's just, I don't know. It didn't flow as I wanted it to, with just being like, hey, the man is now the damsel in distress because he crashed into the waters of Themyscira.
Oh, you wanted him to be the damsel in distress?
Yeah, is what I'm saying. As opposed to going just straight, like, hand in hand, we need each other to get this done. Just straight role reversal.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And that's kind of what I heard from the reviews, was just like, Chris Pines is the damsel, Gal Gadot's the knight in shining armor.
That would have been cool, yeah. Like, make the dude the damsel, and then, like, the woman, like, she takes care of him. That would have been cool. But I like the way it played out because it didn't do what I was afraid it would do, where it's like, you see a lot of movies where they try to be progressive and they have like a female lead or whatever, but then they always make them everything about the dude, no matter how small the character is for him. Yeah. And so that was my worry going into it. I'm like, because Chris Pine is a big name, I was like, man, like he's a bigger name than Gal Gadot. And so what's going to happen is it's going to be about like, oh, look at how progressive Chris Pine's character is. Oh, look at how great he is. Which they didn't do that. So I was glad that happened. But I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's a good point.
But otherwise, really loved the villain. What was his name? Jordan Floof?
Ares?
No, the German dude.
Oh, Lutenkopf?
I just think of the Ludens that you take when you... Ludens cough drops, people. Take them when you have a cough. Says Ludenkopf. No, that's Ricola.
That's Ricola.
Yeah. Anyway, that guy, he was pretty gnarly. And I was rooting for him being Ares from the beginning. I was just like, oh, it's simple. He's the one that wants to keep pushing word. They're trying to reach peace. But then all of a sudden, spoilers, not him.
I didn't like him or Dr. Poison.
No?
They were so basic.
That was a lame name, but other than that,
they were just both so basic. like I don't know, General Ludendorff, and he's just, I want war, blah 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 blah, and he spoke in an English accent at times, which confused me. I don't understand why they do that sometimes, but like I don't know. They were pretty boring. There wasn't any depth to them. Whereas Ares, at one point you find yourself like kind of agreeing with what he was saying. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
before you knew he was Ares.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And even after you found out he was Ares and he was trying to convince Diana.
Yeah, but the fact is he's still pushing something. Like his whole thing was, oh, I'm not telling them to go to the war. I'm just giving them ideas to go to war.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's almost the same thing.
Exactly, but there's depth to it. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he's still a villain.
Got it.
But like, there are some aspects of what he's saying where it's like, oh, that makes sense. But at the same time, like, oh no, you're instigating shit, you know? So my point is like, his villainy, there was depth to it. So like, it was more interesting. Whereas Ludendorff and Dr. Poison were like, F the world and make shit.
I mean, I thought the idea, like, even with your basic idea, I thought the idea of like, not just making something that could destroy everybody, it was just like killing people with something that weakens their armor as opposed to just like absolute annihilation. I thought that was kind of cool, where it's just like the mustard gas that can break through gas masks. It's like a corrosive. Yeah. I thought that was pretty sweet.
That was pretty cool. They didn't play out as well as I would hope. I never mind.
Anyway, next time we see Gal Gadot, she will be in the Justice League movie.
Justice League. Is it this year?
Yeah, it's this year. Is she going to be in it? Because they always tease about like Batman and Aquaman and Flash.
No, she's in it. Huh. Her and Batman are the ones that gathered them up.
Got it.
I will say one problem that just didn't sit well with me with Wonder Woman. Some of the dialogue was just too on the nose.
Fair enough. Did you like the whole like how the movie started with Bruce giving her the picture of the troop?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I thought that was a really cool form of storytelling, just being like, hey, this is the story behind what we know of her so far. And this is how we got from A to B.
Yeah.
But on top of that superhero movie, are we going to...
What are you pointing at, John?
Everything. Way to pull open the curtain for everyone.
This podcast is about clarity.
See, I get that.
Right? It's about being honest with every...
See, how is clarity and honesty the same thing? I can be very clear by lying to you, saying I don't want you to know the truth, by just straight up saying, hey, let me be clear, I'm going to lie to you. Or I could be honest with you and say...
Okay. Clarity and honesty.
There you go.
Semantics. Anyway,
let's
talk about Baby Driver.
Okay.
Oh, Baby Driver.
Yes. Edgar Wright is the writer, director, and producer, I believe. And hey, I mean, any movie, they're giving so many movies great soundtracks nowadays.
Dude, unbelievable.
Right? And it's just like half these songs, I've never even heard of the groups. And it's amazing because it's introducing me to this whole other world of music I never knew of.
Yeah, dude.
And that was pretty much what Baby Driver was to me. It was just this music-fueled, action-packed...
The music was a character.
Yeah.
It was a character in the movie, and everything happened with it. It didn't just happen, and then there just so happened to be music over. It was like, this is happening to music, which was cool.
And it was just such a, like... Even though it's only an hour 40 long, I felt fully satisfied after I was done. It was like I didn't need any more. I wasn't, overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It was the perfect amount of movie, and the story was great. Yeah. I love the love story. I love the action. I love the heists.
The choreography. Oh, man.
Friggin' hated Jamie Foxx, but other than that...
Hated his character?
That's what I love about Jamie Foxx is just he makes you hate him so much or love him so much.
It's amazing.
He has the ability to just change my opinion of him at a whim.
What a talented man.
But yeah, so this was in this case at least, it was I was a big opposite of fan of Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. No, I feel it. I love this movie. I think this movie is pretty darn close to perfect. I do have one qualm with it in terms of like just sometimes the pacing was a little too quick, and two qualms. One, the pacing sometimes was a little too quick for certain events to make sense that they happened.
Okay.
And then the other thing is Kevin Spacey. Spoiler alert.
Big spoiler.
It's very, very big spoiler alert. Towards the end of the movie, Kevin Spacey takes a bullet for him, basically.
Yeah.
He helps him escape and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, nothing up until that point suggests that he cares for him. Because up until that point, he's kind of like, you know, I care for you, but don't mess with me because I will kill you and end your girlfriend's life.
And that's the twist that we all appreciate. It was just like the guy that was rooting for him the entire time became the one that wanted to kill him in the end.
Yeah, that's true. Because that switch just seems so abrupt from like I will murder you and your girlfriend to I'm gonna take a bullet for you. It was so abrupt there wasn't much build up time, which I guess adds into like the timing.
It's just adding loyalty. Like that's kind of how I took it when I saw it. It was just like there was so much loyalty between them that in the end Kevin Spacey felt the need to, you know, take the proverbial bullet.
That's fair, and the actual bullet. And the car. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I see your point. I agree. I was pleasantly surprised with Ansel Elgort's performance. Like,
the main guy.
Yeah, the main guy, baby. I thought he did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause he's from Divergent and Fault in Our Stars. I'm like,
never saw any of those.
Neither did I.
This is the first movie I saw him in.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't in anything. The only other thing I've ever seen him in, or I guess heard him in, he sings on a song on Logic's album, newest album. Yeah, so that was my only introduction. But like knowing he was from Fault in Our Stars, and
you just expected a lot more
teen drama-ish
stuff.
Got it. But you know, you know what? And I was listening to this podcast like afterwards, a few days after that, and a good point came up. Like this character would also work if he was like a black kid, because it takes place in Atlanta. He likes old school soul and R&B. His foster dad is black. He found himself in a troubling situation. I was thinking about it, like that would have been cool too, like a character that is that deep. But then like the end. Never mind. I was thinking of something.
You
else.
just like I get what you're saying. The flashbacks or like the dream sequences kind of ruin that. I mean, I could still see it. It'd just be slightly different.
No. I don't think it would ruin it. I think like the ending on how he gets off. Although I appreciate it, I don't think it would happen to a black character in America.
Wow. Fair enough.
But no, it would have been cool. I don't know. This movie is just amazing.
True.
And
John Hamm plays a very good guy and bad guy in this. He has a wide range of likability throughout. Mm-hmm. His girlfriend, whose name I never learned.
Darlin?
No, like the actress.
The actress.
Yeah.
Oh, her name. She has a very interesting name. It's like I forgot it too.
Anyway, the backstory that they kind of introduced for John Hamm was really cool too. Oh, he was like a stockbroker type or Wall Street type. That's what they call him.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was like, he has the means to actually like, you know, take care of the last heist.
That's true.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the characters played very well in this. The soundtrack was amazing. The direction was fantastic. And
yeah, after the first car chase, when Baby was walking down the street, did you notice how like the walls to the wall he was walking next to had all the lyrics to had some of the lyrics to the song he was listening to? Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that part because it was. I'm gonna stop myself because I can gush about this movie so much.
Right, and just even though he was a criminal, he was a good guy deep down.
Yeah,
and that showed in his trial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone rooted for him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everyone has to go to jail for crimes. So.
That's true. Dude, and, his girlfriend. Oh, she has the most adorable, goofy smile. I love their relationship. It was a little too fast, but, like, you know, it was... the story of this movie, I don't think was as important as, like, as the... shit, I lost my train of thought.
Now who's the failure?
That was me. My bad.
Because he refuses to call his parents.
That was my little brother.
Call his little parents brothers.
So my uncles. No. Yeah. The story is not important in this. Like the story, because the story is very simple. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But it's more so just about like every other aspect of the movie, like outside of the story, which is cool.
Yeah. Which made it all work together even better than just the story playing out.
Yeah. I loved it. Anyway, last but not least, because we were running a little.
Really?
Yeah, we're cutting it close.
You're wanting to go to the half hour? I forgot.
Yeah, we're just, since this is our first episode back in a minute.
We'll ease into it as opposed to just,
yeah,
the opposite. Something we just watched together but had seen previously was We can do it together. Spider-Man Homecoming. All right, our pacing is completely off, but that's fine. Spider-Man Homecoming with Tom Holland, Michael Keaton, and etc. See,
huh?
What? Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Everyone always was like gushing over Zendaya. I have no idea who Zendaya is.
Oh, she was a Disney star.
See, and I that was like right after my Disney watching.
Oh.
It must have been because I quit after Sweet Life was.
Sweet Life on Deck?
I watched like half of Sweet Life on Deck.
Oh, I love that show.
No, Sweet Life Standard
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Yeah, that was my jam. But
yeah.
After that, yeah, nothing. But I can't really remember when I stopped watching Disney Channel.
Neither can I. But I do remember Zendaya at some point. But it was at the later time of my Disney time period.
Fair enough.
I don't know where it was though. What I saw her in.
Anyway, beside the point.
Tom Holland.
Crazy
Zendaya.
As this is the third reboot or third boot of Spider-Man, second reboot. He's my new favorite.
Oh, hands down. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
See, and it's because he captures both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. There's two characters there, and for the past, they've been having either one or the other, but this is the first time that they have both.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield was a dope Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire was a dope Peter Parker.
See, I think the exact opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
No, because Andrew Garfield was too much of a hipster to be Peter Parker, who's supposed to be like this nerdy, awkward dude.
That's fair, but I just mean like he had the like wisecracking, and he had I mean, I guess yeah. I mean, if you go, it depends on what Spider-Man you go off of, I guess. Me being the more modern comic reader, I like the new Spider-Man, who is a cool guy that's very intelligent, and his origin story is basically Tom Holland as opposed to the classic Spider-Man where he was just shunned by everyone until he had spider powers and shot liquid cement out of his wrists to swing from.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get what I'm saying. It's just like,
I see what you're saying.
As opposed to, just all the other Spider-Men. There's so many spider people.
There's so many spider folks.
And
we got the best one.
Yes.
And Tom Holland is one of my favorite superheroes now.
Right.
Oh man, he does it so well. I will say the movie was a bit too long. There were a bunch of scenes that I feel weren't necessary. The airplane scene.
Really?
There wasn't really much of a need for it.
I enjoyed it.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Like the logistics of making something like that, amazing. But like when you think about it, Spider-Man, there's no need for him like to be on a plane. I don't know. There was no need for that. Like Spider-Man is a street level character. He is one of the biggest superhero characters in the world of all time. However, he's still a street level character. He's not Iron Man. He's not Captain Marvel. He doesn't fly. He doesn't have super strength. He has superhuman strength, but you know what I mean? Like something of the magnitude of the airplane scene.
Yeah.
Well,
in the fact that he faltered as much as he did while trying to take down that plane or take down Vulture on that plane, I saw that. And that's what I thought they were trying to get across is he is not as good as Iron Man. He is not an Avenger. He is just getting his feet wet,
True. No, I see what you're saying. But then something of the scale of like the ferry scene.
Yeah.
I feel like even the ferry scene, some of that stuff was like, it's meh. But like something of the scale of the ferry scene made more sense to me than the scale of the airplane scene. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, that's just proving that he could take on more than he was prepared for. It's just like that's the whole point of the movie, really. It's just like he wants to be an Avenger.
True.
When he is not one.
You're right. Yeah.
And so that's when we saw him tumble and fall and just do his best, but in not being good enough. That's what I saw come across the screen. It was just him being the best Peter Parker, but not enough of the superhero they needed.
You're right. That's a good point. I will say, I love the scene where, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Sorry. Lots of spoilers.
Major spoiler alert.
It came out a week ago, so we're good.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The scene where he confronts Vulture in the warehouse and Vulture gets the... By the way, I did not think I would love Vulture.
Really?
He is the scariest looking villain I've ever seen.
Yeah?
I'm not kidding, because there's something very imposing about the way he moves and how he carries himself.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, take, for example, Joker. Joker's just scary because he's chaotic and he has creepy face makeup, right?
Yeah.
Other villains, whatever.
Not Jared Leto.
Not Jared Leto, but, or Leto, or whatever it is. But, like, this is the first time... Tomato to Leto. But this is the first time I've seen a villain, like, on, like, a superhero movie, and I honestly get a little terrified by how... Dude, Ultron was bullshit. I hated that movie.
Thanos.
Thanos just looks stupid.
What about the guy from the first Guardians? I forget his name already.
Something the Accuser. Ronan the Accuser.
Ronan, yep.
It was fine. He was just an alien looking thing that wasn't too scary to me. No, dude, I don't know what it is. The costume design is impeccable.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. Like, I didn't think they could make... Like, I don't know if you people remember the original design of Vulture, of just, like, a bald dude in a green tight suit with wings. It was friggin' weird.
Yeah.
But they somehow turned Michael Keaton into this crazy imposing figure that really worked on screen and scared the crap out of me.
The way, I don't know, man. This is the first time I've actually been scared for a superhero because his or her villain is imposing as fuck.
But back to the warehouse scene.
Oh, I love the part where, again, spoiler, when the thing, it collapsed on him, and he started crying, because that's what a kid would do. He feels powerless. He's stuck in rubble, possibly might die.
Yeah.
He starts crying and yelling for help. And I think that also goes to show, like, the range that Tom Holland has. But, like, I love that scene, because, like, you don't see that enough in superhero movies. Like, you see the flaws in their character and whatever, but you rarely ever see them in actual, true danger,
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because this just goes back to my point that I keep just shoving down your throat. It's just, he is a child, and he is just getting started.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of things, the trials and tribulations that happen to all of the heroes as they start up.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see someone who can actually get across what a hero would actually feel in these situations, as opposed to just, oh, I'm in Hollywood and I'll be fine because this is just a movie. Like, I felt for Tom Holland and Peter Parker in that.
Mm-hmm. And I think also why I felt so threatened by Vulture was because Tom Holland sold his role as Peter Parker actually being in legitimate danger because of Vulture. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, take it, for example, Ultron, like you mentioned. During that movie, Avengers Ultron, Age of Ultron, at no point were they ever in actual danger. It was only ever the people of, like, Markovia or whatever. Sokovia, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sokovia. Markovia. The people of Sokovia that were in danger. But, yeah, the Avengers were never in true danger. And in any of the movies, they were never like that. But, like, in this one, I was legit scared. Oh, shit, Vulture might kill this motherfucker, you know? But...
So, needless to say, we loved it. It's both of our new favorites, Spider-Man, even though Tobey Maguire will always have my heart.
Can I say something?
You can sure go ahead.
About heart, okay? I was I forgot who was talking about this, but I agreed with what they said. I think it was on another podcast. But they mentioned that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, he had more of the heart. And I find myself agreeing in terms of, like, the pure, raw emotion. Something I didn't like too much about this movie was the forced comedy at times.
Okay.
There were a lot of, like, crazy funny moments, especially when it involved, like, Hannibal Buress or Martin Starr, but then there were, like, a lot of other jokes that I felt were forced to a point that I was just like, this isn't. Let me give you an example. The scene, again, spoiler, when Spidey leaves Homecoming and he's fighting the Shocker.
Yeah.
Right? And then he finds himself in the school bus. He's under the seat and he sees, like, the gum. Yeah. He's like, ugh, gross. Yeah. And the entire theater cracks up. I was like, this is a serious ass moment. He just found out that the girl he crushes on so hard, her dad is Vulture. Spoiler, her dad is Vulture, right? Yeah. You would think he would be making quips like that? Come on now.
See, and I thought it would have worked better if he'd, like, accidentally grabbed it or reached for it. But it's just like, ooh, I looked under a bus seat and there's gum. I didn't expect that there. Ew, gross. Yeah, no, that was definitely something I disagreed with as well as being a good scene that needed to be in the movie. But something I wanted to bring up actually was how they transition like the classic Peter Parker being in an everyday public school to him being in like a nerd specific school where it's science and math based, and it's like they translated his bully into just this, you know, snobby rich kid who thinks he's the best but is still just a giant dork.
Because that would make sense, right?
Yeah,
you go to a science and math and technology school,
you're not gonna have a football bully.
Exactly. Dude, I love Tony Revolori. You ever watch Grand Budapest Hotel?
Oh, I love Grand Budapest.
Damn, he's amazing in it.
I really want to watch the new movie he's in with Josh Peck on Netflix.
What's it called?
I don't remember, to be perfectly honest. I can possibly look into it. I don't know where my phone is. I lost my phone.
It's right there.
Oh, it's standing and hiding behind the tablet. Small tablet behind a big tablet.
But
anyway, keep talking and I'll find the title of the movie.
I was actually just gonna close it out.
I mean,
find the title of the movie first.
Okay. Take the 10.
Take the 10?
Take the 10.
Take the 10.
It did not get the best reviews, but I like both the actors, Josh Peck and Ravioli.
Tony Revolori.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're both really cool. And anyway, he was a great Flash. Flash Thompson.
Yeah, he was hilarious, man.
And
just seeing him, this giant dork was trying to be amazing.
Yeah.
And then just failing. It was dope.
In his form of bullying, he's just calling Peter Parker Penis Parker. It's like, aha, you got me there.
Parker.
Penis Parker.
And then him being a DJ is just the corniest but like most accurate thing.
Right? Because that's what the cool kids are, man.
I'm telling you, bro.
All my cool friends are DJs. Haha, JK, LOL, Sean.
Okay, let's go back. I loved how diverse this movie was too, man. They finally figured that shit out. Oh my god, they did it well. Like, that's how the real world is, especially in New York. Thank God.
Peter's crush isn't just a, white bread redhead. She's a
mixed. I don't know what black and white. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Is there a name for that? So there were names for different
biracial.
Yeah, let's just go biracial. Michael Keaton and someone's daughter. I don't remember her name. I feel like she's
Liz.
Well, yeah, Liz is her name, but I don't remember her mom's actress's name.
Oh, I've never seen her or anything.
I think she's been in stuff. Oh, anyway, we'll move past that.
No, it's it's the type of diverse where it's like, oh yeah, this director wasn't like trying hard to be. It was just like naturally diverse. This is New York City. This is how it is. So I like that.
Smart kids in all cultures.
Yeah, but anyway, let's rate all the movies.
All right, starting with Wonder Woman out of
a letter grade.
A letter grade, fine.
Let's go out of
letter grade. All right, from F- to A+. What do you got?
I give it a B+,
and I give it an A-.
Cool.
I enjoyed the villain, the hero, the story, the beautiful scenery. Just couple different parts.
I agree with you. The reason I'm at a B+ instead of an A- is just I couldn't get past some of the dialogue at some points.
Fair enough. And I know you're big on dialogue. So, all right. Baby Driver.
Baby Driver, I would give it a solid A-.
And I'll just give it a straight A.
Straight A.
Yeah.
That's good.
Just because I love Edgar Wright. He's the director of my favorite movie, Scott Pilgrim, and I saw a lot of that influence in this as well.
That like fast-paced, kind of awkward almost.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I loved it. And yeah. Anyway, direction was all it was for me. Was just love the guy. Yeah. Anyway, and then you said A-.
A-, yeah. Again, the pacing was a little off for me, but besides that, and it wasn't about the movie wasn't about the story. It was about literally every other aspect of the movie. So I appreciated everything.
All right, and finally, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
This probably has the most problems of these three movies, but I'm gonna give it the highest grade. I'm gonna give it an A.
And I give it an A+, just because it's been a while since we've had a good Spider-Man and Spider-Man villain in the same movie.
Yeah, and I was excited during this movie, man. Like, the only other superhero movie that I've recently been excited about was Wonder Woman.
And that's because you're in love with Gal Gadot.
Well, partly, yes, but also because it was a dope-ass movie.
Fair enough.
But, like, every other movie in the past, except for, like, Winter Soldier, that was cool. It was fine, but not as excited as I was about Spider-Man and Wonder Woman.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so those are our grades, people. Check them out if you haven't yet. If you haven't checked it out, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, stop listening to spoilers and go watch the actual movie.
Just, get the fuck out of here. And come back, please.
And we're sorry to save that message till the very end.
But we did say spoilers, so get off our back.
But it was like milliseconds before we actually spoiled it, so
yeah.
So sorry.
But John, where can they follow us?
We're Not Cool on Facebook.
Yep, or you can just look up at Possibly Dope, because apparently Facebook does ats as well.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Twitter at Possibly Dope.
Email us if you have questions, concerns, or comments at possiblydope@gmail.com.
My favorite new social media platform, Instagram, at Not Cool Podcast. Or if you're listening to this on YouTube, if you don't want to waste your data and battery life, if you have an iPhone, go to your iTunes podcast app. It's that purple podcast app that is on your phone and you never know what it's for. Find our podcast with the search and download our ish and listen to it.
And rate it and subscribe.
Give us 5 stars. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And if you're on Android, where can they find us on Android?
Google Play.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still on Spreaker?
Yep. The Spreaker runs it all because it makes the RSS feed.
Oh, nice. And I think that's it.
Yeah. So Spreaker, if you've never heard of it, it's speaker with an R, like an additional R, Spreaker.
Just the one at the end. Just kidding. Another one.
But yeah, if you download Spreaker, it's a free app. It's just another podcast app. It's iPhone and Android, so you can find it on whatever if you don't like the iTunes app. But yeah, just go on there, find us if that's the more convenient one, and do it there. Otherwise, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, share this shit, leave a comment. Do what you want to do.
And we'll try not to give you such a break this time.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try our best.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Love you guys.
Bye, people.
Bye.